Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you about Angel, or well, there's some different information online about her. She goes by the name Marici or Marci. Uh, they said she's an angel. They call her also the goddess of light. She associated with she has many aspects, and apparently she have many powers multiplied by, I think by three. Yeah. And so she goes like, 3, 6, 9, what do you call it, 12. And anyhow, so she has a lot of powers because they depicted her with many arms, meaning she's capable of all these versions or and also emanation. And she's associated with the sun, and she's a destroyer of magic, witchcraft, whatever you want to call it. So Satan doesn't like her, because anything from the kingdom of djinn don't like her, because she holds the divine first light of creation, and she has a lot of. She could heal. She could destroy magic. She could guide you through the ascension process. So she have all those things. I still need to do a little bit more of digging and figuring out what are all her powers and dominion. And but the enemy's been playing with my phone. I've been trying to create also prayers for you guys and for myself as well, and they've been blocking the website that I've been using to convert words to MP3. So anyhow, they've been doing that, so because they don't like they don't want me creating prayers, because they don't want to be fought. They want it, to have this open field to do you wrong and get away with it. They don't want you fighting, you know what I mean? And her name is the name they fear. They fear her name because they blocking my, in my iPhone, being able to create prayers and download them, and also remix them, right? So because it's like it takes forever to upload one. And because the enemy they think I'm incapable. If you're like blocking, using this program to convert these words to MP3. Initially I used to create prayers verbally. I used to just think about what I want to say and create it. I just, we came up with this AI, ChatGPT and whatever. And so I've been creating them through there and copying them into this converter, and copying them into this converter and then download them into MP3, right? And anyhow, that's what's going on. So they've been, I got lazy, I would say, because I've been bombarded with all these attacks. Sometimes you get lazy, because they're working, and there are troops of people working against you. right? And you're fighting with God, right? But so yeah, I did get lazy. But guess what? I'm gonna create prayers verbally. You know, if you're blocking that for me to able to create this prayer, convert them to MP3, whatnot, whatever, you know, you don't think I'm incapable of just recording these prayers, and yeah, and then remix them after. Yeah, I could do that. You think it's like you shut in one door, I'm just kind of hopeless. I standing there scratching my head and thinking, wow, what am I gonna do next? Buddy, you know what I mean? I could do a lot. So don't think I'm like stuck. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Okay? My preference, obviously, the easiest way, but hey, spiritual work is a spiritual work. Is work. You understand? And all I got is time. Okay? Spiritual work is yeah. So you don't think like you're manipulating a situation or blocking my phone from doing all of that, or taking me almost an hour to create one prayer. You think it's like, that's it, you won, right? You know what? You have another thing coming, you know, for you. If you think I'm just hopeless, I don't know what to do, right? Anyhow, you keep messing with me, you keep pissing me off, you know? You know what? The army of heaven are coming. Okay? You won't be messing with me no more. When they come, I'll tell you something about Solomon, Prophet Solomon, Prophet Isa, or they call him Jesus, fake Jesus. The name fake is Jesus, is a fake name. Anyhow, so is Lucifer, you know. But anyhow, yeah. So the name for Lucifer, the original name is Hilal bin Shakur. I had to look that one up. But anyhow, it's not Lucifer. Lucifer, they just giving you all this Greek and Roman to put in Satan. So when you're invoking him. You're not really, you're invoking Zeus or whatever. Anyhow, and you know, you think, okay, yeah, I was gonna talk about Solomon, Prophet Solomon, Prophet Isa, David, Saul. What are all of these prophets have something in common? What do you think this is? What do you think? It's a little windy. Sorry, guys. Anyhow, what do you think? What they have in common? Just I named a few. You know what I mean? From the house of Abraham. Okay. So all of those prophets have one thing in common. It's the bloodline, right? Our bloodline, the blessed. Right? And they were all kings. They were all kings. Yeah. King David, King Solomon, King Isa, right? So all of those are kings, including even Moses, and you know. So when you think when Moses divided the Nile, he's led his people. A king lead his people. You understand? So they all have one thing in common. You know, not one thing, a few things. I just mentioned a few. Then the main one, they're all kings. And kings have army. And kings have leaders who work with the king to get the job done. So you think now you're all going against me, and it's a little windy today. What's going on? Just bear with me, guys. It's a little bit. It's a little windy, man. Yeah. So we have armies too. You have army now. All these people are working together to do us wrong. Yeah. Look up. You know, King David, King Solomon, King Isa, King Abraham, Noah, all of them, they're kings. Anyone who leads a nation is a king, you know? Because the head of the household, think of it that way, okay? And yeah, so that's what's going on. You think like you're not gonna have the last laugh, so you keep doing me wrong. Oh, today is what's going on with the wind. Anyhow, you keep all making noise and doing all this stuff to annoy me. And yeah. So anyhow, you think you have all the strategy now. You got it all figured out, right? You know?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you think you got it figured out, right? And because all the strategy is coming from above. None of you guys who participate in this program will make a move unless you're being given permission from high above, your leaders. Okay? You don't even scratch your head, you know, let alone do anything. You want to sneeze unless you're given permission. Okay? At least I could do all of that on my own. You know? Anyhow, you do people wrong, you know, they're gonna go hide and leave you guys to take the fall for it. You know what I'm saying? They're already preparing for it. This, you know? You guys should watch the movie Legion, guys. You're gonna see when the sun is covered with legion of angels. They covered the whole sun. There's no ray of light hit the ground. That is how many they're coming. You understand? You're thinking it's all for movies. You don't think it's real. You think it's fairy tale, right? You're gonna find out. Keep pissing people off. Yeah. Anyhow, read about Marici or Marcy. I'm going to include a prayer also on subject line, right? Not in the comment section, right? So, because they've been blocking the prayers and stuff. So you know the name, you can do your own research on it. You know, God, you know, the Infinite showed me the name the other day. Because I prayed out of anger. I was so enraged, you know? But I think it's part of the infinite of Allah's mercy to support you when you're in need. So that's what happened. I prayed, I was so angry. I was like, I can breathe fire, you know? That's how angry I was. But at least I never made noise campaign or slam things and trying to, these people attacking me, I don't make as much noise as they do. I attack them once, they scream like, oh, help us, you know. Man up, guys. Man up, okay? take it like a, do not scream, do not make noise. You see how I'm doing it? I am not doing it like you guys. I am not doing all of that, I'm taking the pain you're inflicting on me in silence. When are you gonna end up and take it in silence? Okay? You don't think I feel anything? You don't think I feel anything? I'm not human, right? I don't feel when I'm in excruciating pain, right? But I do. But I'm never been that sit there and scream, or whine up. You know what I mean? You guys are wuss. Man up, don't scream, don't make noise. Take it in silence like me. You couldn't? Anyhow, guys, do some research on the name I gave you. Create prayers. You have to do the spiritual work, and if you don't do the spiritual work, and if you don't you do the spiritual work, heaven or God or Allah, the infinite, they won't help you. They will not help you, all right? Because you have to do work. At least you're trying. But then if you sit there waiting for God to help you all the time, just, to come and batting for you, and it's not going to happen. And so you do the work, receive the prize, the help. You get to be chosen. You think God is going to choose somebody who just sat there, chew bubble gum all day? So anyhow, that's what's going on. That's what I want to talk to you about this name. Because they're blocking me from creating prayers and for you guys. And because they want you to be hopeless. They don't want you to defend yourself. They want to protect their witches or their slaves. Excuse me, they're slaves. They're slaves, they're not, anything but slave. And so anyhow, guys, yeah. So anyhow, they're protecting their slaves and because they don't want you creating prayers, and because they do not like this name, because she is very powerful, and she's also warrior of light. She's God, what they call her. They say she's a goddess of war as well, and light. And so anyhow, just do the work, guys. To research on this name, create prayers. You have to be creative, because she can bend light. She can bend, she could decimate witchcraft, magic, whatever intentions. Whatever intention. You don't have to be specific. You know what I mean? You can just say intention. It's coming from that enemy, right? She could destroy all of that. All these negative energies that have been sent towards you. She can decimate it. She can annihilate it out of the face of the earth. Okay? Yeah. So that's what they've been doing. They've been blocking me. They've been blocking me from creating prayers. So, anyhow, the cat is out of the bag. I'm gonna talk. This is the name you guys need to use to help you defend yourself against. Because they use demon, they use djinn, they use entities to attack you, and none of these energies that I just mentioned would work against her, because she has many arms and multiplied, The more she's at war, the more arms comes out, and each arm do one thing. You know what I mean? So she have all these powers and dominion and authority, and she could manipulate light and manipulate energy. You know what I mean? Because we're all made of light. Even Satan made of light, but it's not the same light we have. Anyhow, she can do a lot of damage to the enemy. Okay? Anybody who is attacking you, you're capable to defend yourself. You cannot just sit there and so they'll have a heyday on you. They do you wrong and laugh about it, or just do all this noise campaign and this stuff. I've been doing this stuff, and before I left, I had excuse me, no worries. Before I left the house, I had a mantra. Yeah, I'm gonna link you some mantra in the comment section. But anyhow, I had mantra going on my speaker at home. They didn't like this stuff because they've been sending you negative energy, and whatever this mantra is being played, she's decimating. All this negative energy has been sent, and they don't like it, because they can't touch you. They want to be able to send you stuff, and they want to be violating you. They want to be able to violate you. When you're like putting a block into their violation, they don't like it. Even this slave George guy, the janitor in my building, slammed on my door today. You know what I mean? You think he's like trying to intimidate me by slamming his vacuum cleaner into my door, all these people doing stuff intentionally. I sent an email about this noise campaign to the office, and they never responded. Could you believe that? But if I were to do that constantly, slamming things and doing that, they would be complaining. But when I complain, they don't do anything about it. It's like they are justified to do you wrong, and you're not allowed to retaliate. Okay? So, yeah, I'm going to continue. You know what? I'm going to start actually making a lot of noise moving forward. Anybody who make noise, I'm going to make noise in return, It's because they're not going to do anything about it. If they're not going to do anything about it, hey, you better not do anything when I'm making noise out of my apartment. Because, hey, tit for tat, exactly. That's how it is. Just remember that. So I'll give you the name and send you the mantras. And do your research, create prayers, because they've been throwing roadblocks of me trying to create a specific prayers. But hey, it's not really a glass ceiling. I can get over the glass ceiling. I will just start creating prayer verbally, You understand? Yeah? So what can you do, I can do better, So it doesn't matter. So, yeah. Guess what? I'm creating very destructive prayers today because I'm annoyed.